You know exactly what you're supposed to do. You've read the books, you're super driven, you're ambitious, you've even worked with a therapist, nutritionist likely, and yet you still find yourself repeating the same cycle with binge eating and feeling completely out of control. And this shame is totally crushing you because you think, I know better, what's wrong with me? Here's what I need you to hear today. Nothing is wrong with you.
No, baby, there's nothing wrong with you.
The issue has nothing to do with a lack of willpower. The issue is that knowing what to do and actually being able to do it are two very different things. I'm Julia, and today we're going to talk through why intellectually understanding isn't enough to heal from binge eating, and what actually needs to happen for you to find lasting freedom. And the good news is, if you're someone who's been stuck in this exhaustive cycle for years, probably your entire life, and you're desperate to get out of this and you want a root cause focused approach, a clear roadmap to total freedom and peace with food, then I want to invite you to book a complimentary one-on-one body confidence and food freedom call with me, because on this call, we're going to navigate exactly where you're getting stuck, create your personalized blueprint to freedom, and see if joining my program and actually breaking free of this once and for all is the right thing for you right now. The link is below. Now let's get into the goods. Let's talk about the gap between logically knowing and doing. So you're not alone in how you're feeling, because I work with brilliant, self-aware, driven women every single day who come to me saying the exact same thing. Julia, I know I don't want to keep binge eating, but I still do it. And I get that I'm using food to cope with my emotions, but I still can't stop binge eating. And here's what I want you to understand. There is a massive gap between cognitively understanding this and actually healing and changing the behavior. Your conscious mind, the part of you that reads books, listens to podcasts, watches videos like this, that part of you totally gets it. That part of you intellectually understands the mechanics of binge eating. But binge eating doesn't live in your conscious mind. It lives in your nervous system. It lives in your subconscious patterns. It lives in the 85% of you that is not conscious. It lives in the deeply wired beliefs that you've been carrying about yourself, your body, your worth since you were a child. So you cannot think your way out of a nervous system issue. You just can't. You can't logic your way out of trauma responses, and you cannot intellectualize your way out of this deeply held shame that we have when we struggle with things like binge eating. This is why so many women that I work with, and you included, feel so frustrating, and you're not alone. You're doing everything right on paper, but your body is still responding from a place of protection, fear, and survival. Is this ringing a bell? I'm going to give you a tangible example because you're going to love this. I had a client, Elizabeth, who came to me after working with a therapist for 16 years. She worked with nutritionists, Ayurvedic medicine, everything. She could explain this binge cycle better than most professionals. She understood her triggers. She knew her emotions were driving her to eat. She knew restricting food was leading her to binge. But every single night, every single day, she was repeating the same binge cycle. And she was then drowning in shame because she thought, I know all of this, so why can't I just stop? Here's what was actually happening. Elizabeth's nervous system was still in survival mode. Her body did not feel safe from years of restriction and dieting and controlling food. And even though her mind understood that she should eat regularly and she should stop restricting, her body internally was holding on to years of deprivation, perfectionism, and the message that she wasn't good enough as she was. So until we address what was happening at that deeper level with this nervous system dysregulation and her subconscious beliefs, the binge eating wasn't going anywhere. And the good news is, Elizabeth is now free from binge eating, free from dieting. She has a healthy, peaceful relationship with food after 20 years. She fired her therapist within a few weeks of working together. So if you are ready for this kind of transformation and you're tired of knowing logically what to do, but still feeling stuck, then again, I invite you to book that complimentary body confidence and food freedom call with me, because we're going to talk about exactly what's really going on that's keeping you trapped in this cycle, and really talk through how the Brazen Method can help you to break free from this for good. So this could literally be your turning point and what you've been waiting for. And the link is in the description. Don't wait to book your call because they definitely fill up. All right, so let me tell you the 3 key ingredients that are required for you to actually transform this struggle with food for good. And this is exactly what's included in my Brazen Method and why it has led to such high success over the 9 years that I've been doing this work with thousands of women worldwide. Number 1, nervous system regulation. We've got to have that, honey. If that's missing, nothing else is going to stick. So I start by helping my clients bring safety to their body and their nervous system, because when your nervous system is chronically dysregulated and you're stuck in fight, flight, or freeze, guess what? Your body uses binge eating as a way to cope by soothing, trying to protect you, and it becomes this almost addictive cycle that you can't break no matter how much logically you know you don't want to do it. So I help you shift out of chronic survival mode and into a place of regulation and safety, because when your nervous system feels safe, food stops feeling like it's a threat, and your body stops needing to binge. You stop having binge urges. You start having the capacity for new behaviors that actually support you instead of self-sabotaging you. So nervous system regulation is essential, and it is number 1. If we don't have that foundational building block, we go as far as we feel safe. So if our nervous system doesn't feel safe, ain't no changes coming our way. Number 2, we got to focus on subconscious reprogramming. This is a game changer. So I use specialized techniques with my clients to help them actually rewire the subconscious beliefs that have been running the show. These beliefs are the very thing, the 85% of you, that is keeping your nervous system stuck in this chronic state of fight, flight, or freeze. So you can probably think of some of those beliefs that you have. We learn them from a very young age. But these beliefs live below your conscious awareness. You can't talk them away. You can't positively think them away. You can't affirmation them away. You have to access them at a deeper level and transform them. And that's exactly what I do with my clients. If we don't do that belief reprogramming work, then we basically guarantee that we are going to become a victim of those same beliefs that have been controlling us and creating the same negative outcomes in our life, right? 85% of our behaviors are controlled by our subconscious and a product of this operating system that we have learned through our lifetime. And unfortunately, most of these stored beliefs are not even true. They're highly negative and they're very counterproductive to our lives. So we must reprogram them for the nervous system to actually regulate and for us to actually change our behaviors with binge eating. Number 3, we have to focus on emotional regulation. This is so important. Your emotional regulation has such a big component to your health and to any behaviors that we do. So your body is holding on to years, sometimes decades of shame, of restriction, of pain, of unexpressed emotion. Many of the women that I work with actually were taught in their family systems, it's not safe to have a bad day. It's not safe to talk about your feelings. Be quiet, stuff it down. Focus on being positive. Those who focus on the negative only create more negative in their lives. And then what we do is we have all this repressed, stored trauma and emotional pain in our body that actually manifests itself into binge eating because we have no other resources to cope with all this stress and pain. So my goodness, we have to use food as that outlet. So I really help my clients to release that stored energy that's been stuck, because then our body stops needing to use food as an outlet and we learn how to emotionally regulate ourselves, which is a very key component in nervous system regulation to begin with. If you keep stuffing down all those emotions, your nervous system is going to continue to feel unsafe and it's going to continue to get stuck in that fight, flight, or freeze response. So that's how these 3 key pillars really create transformation at the deepest level. We're not just managing symptoms here, we're really going into the root cause of this and actually creating lifelong change. So imagine the analogy of having a weed in your garden. Yes, you can go off and trim the top of that weed all you want, but it's going to keep growing back over and over and over and over again because you haven't pulled it out at the root. That's exactly what we do in this system so that you're free of the weed and you can plant beautiful flowers in its place. Now, I want to give you a practical tool that you can use right now, which is a tool that I teach all my clients, and it's actually one of the foundational evidence-based practices in the Brazen Method. So what I want you to do is I want you to tap where I tap on my body and repeat after me. And I'll explain at the end what all of this magical stuff is. So tap and repeat after me. Even though I'm so ashamed that I logically know I don't want to binge eat, but then I still do it. I'm learning how to love and forgive myself. Even though there's absolutely nothing wrong with me that I binge eat, this is a strategy that my nervous system learned to feel safe. I'm learning how to have more compassion for myself. Even though I feel so ashamed that I logically know what to do, but I can't stop binge eating. Today, maybe for the first time, I've learned that this has very little to do with my logical mind. And I'm starting to release that shame. All the shame I've been carrying, nothing I've been doing is helping. I know what to do, but I still binge eat. But this isn't a logical issue. This isn't a willpower issue. My nervous system is telling me it needs help. No one's taught me that before. So it's no wonder I've been feeling stuck. No one's taught me how to address the root of this. And I'm open to the possibility that I can heal this once and for all. Okay, beautiful. Take a nice easy breath. Notice how you feel. Okay, we've started to create more safety in your nervous system. We've started to do some emotional regulation, clearing the shame. We're also teaching you in this tool how to actually focus on those beliefs and those negative thought patterns that are keeping you stuck, and to actually transmute them, to take energy and power away from them so your brain stops sending energy there. All of those things are very key to healing. So I'm very glad that you got a taste of that today. And just let me know in the comments how you're feeling after doing that little exercise. And you can probably imagine, if this is how I felt even after just a few minutes, what would be possible if I actually had tangible tools like this and a roadmap every single day. I want to address what might be keeping you stuck right now. Why you might be still struggling even though you know so much and you've tried so many things. Here's the truth. Traditional approaches to binge eating often fall short because they don't focus on addressing the root cause like we've talked about today. So traditional therapy, it focuses on cognitive understanding, some light coping strategies. You talk about your childhood, you identify your triggers, maybe you do some breathing techniques. It's all valuable. I was in therapy for 20 years. I definitely see the importance of it. But if your nervous system is stuck and wired in survival and your body doesn't feel safe, all of those strategies just become another thing that you should be doing, but you can't quite manage, right? So you end up with more awareness, more intellectualizing the issue, more talking about what happened to you as a child, but the same behaviors, which becomes very frustrating, of course, and it's not your fault. Number two, a lot of people try to do nutritional counseling where you get a meal plan and you have this structure. But if you're someone with a long history of dieting and restriction, more structure often triggers more rebellion and more binges. So it's like putting a Band-Aid on a wound that actually needs stitches. It can be really difficult to even know what to do with that nutrition counseling. It's not going to fix the actual behavioral problem that you're experiencing. And then, of course, there's new intuitive eating resources, which are beautiful principles. They're going to honor your hunger, reject diet culture, make peace with food. But what I tend to see consistently is that women who try to apply intuitive eating from a dysregulated state, their nervous system goes haywire, and it just contributes to them feeling even more shame because they can't seem to get it right. Most of the women I work with don't even understand what intuitive eating is, how to practically put it into place. And going from the place where you're binge eating all the time to just having total peace with food is something that requires a lot of hand-holding and a proven map. So you might be listening to this video thinking like, yes, I totally get that, and I'm starting to feel less shame. But what happens if this approach that Julia is telling me about, where we focus on the nervous system, emotional regulation, belief reprogramming, what if that actually doesn't work for me? So I get that, I really do. But I want you to consider, have you ever addressed this at the level that we're actually talking about today? Have you ever done nervous system support work and really focused on reprogramming these core beliefs that are keeping your nervous system stuck in dysregulation? I can pretty much guarantee that you haven't. Most women haven't, and that's not your fault. So most approaches simply don't go there. Most practitioners don't have that training. So I've worked with women who have struggled with this for 20, 30, even 40 years, and women who thought that they were beyond repair. I thought I was that person because I did 20 years of therapy and still felt stuck, and they healed. Your nervous system is incredibly capable for change. Your brain is absolutely ready to rewire. It is incredibly plastic. Your body can learn how to feel safe. It is never too late, and it doesn't matter if you've struggled with this for your lifetime. It does not mean you're going to take a lifetime to heal. The one thing that might be keeping you stuck is the belief that you have to do this alone and that you should figure this out by yourself. So many of the women I work with are struggling, putting so much pressure on themselves to figure this out alone, which makes zero sense. You're not weak. You're not incapable. This is not a you problem. We literally cannot see our own blind spots, right? So we can't regulate our own nervous system when we're in the middle of dysregulation. And we need support, we need guidance, we need someone who can really hold space for our healing and give us that roadmap to healing. My client Hannah tried to do this for years on her own. She'd read every book, taken every course, she's watched hundreds of YouTube videos. She was so committed to figuring it out on her own, she even became a personal trainer and went to school to become a nutritionist. I also think she went to school to become some sort of mental health practitioner as well. Anyways, when she finally joined my program, she said, I wish I hadn't waited so long. I kept thinking I should be able to figure this out on my own, but I was going round and round in circles, and having someone who actually understands this, the proven tools to support me to work through it, is what actually changed everything. So within 2 months, Hannah's binge eating decreased by over 90%. Within 4 months, she couldn't even remember the last time she'd binged, and she wasn't thinking about food constantly. She wasn't standing in the mirror criticizing her body. She has freedom, peace with food. She lives in a body that feels strong and energetic. No more macros, no more calorie counting, no more obsessive exercise. So if Hannah's story resonates with you and you've been trying to do this alone, you're exhausted, I want you to stop doing that to yourself. Book the call that absolutely has the power to transform your whole life. Remember, on this call, this body confidence and food freedom call, we're going to talk through what's keeping you stuck. We're going to talk through how the Brazen Method can actually be the breakthrough you've been searching for. And this isn't another program. This is a root level approach that actually supports you to heal this for good. And, at the very least, this could be a call that just totally changes your life, even just to have someone listen to you and know that you're not alone. Give yourself permission to get the support you deserve. That link is available to you right now. Book that call, not tomorrow, not next week, right now, okay? Because you deserve it. And, I just want you to hear that you're not alone. I know that you're carrying so much shame about this because every single woman that I work with does. I did too. And the next step to you breaking free is having the courage to talk to someone about it, specifically a professional who gets this and knows how to support you to change it. I love you. Thank you for being here. Share this video with someone you think that can benefit from it. I'm always reminded of my best friend who, when I was deeply struggling with binge eating, sent me a YouTube video and it changed my life forever. 10 years later, I have a full business supporting women to overcome this. Like I said, I've been doing this for almost 10 years. And if it wasn't for that one YouTube video that opened the door to me seeing I could heal, I wouldn't be here today. So this could be that video for you.